Hello,
Hello.
good afternoon, everyone. Is my voice clear? Can you confirm?
Yes, clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the our college from Otix and from Oman Drydock Company joining us for this panelist. Let's first introduce myself. My name is Fahad Al-Rabani. I am from BDO, Petroleum Development Oman, working as lifting and hoisting team lead and subject matter expert in lifting operation. Before I let my colleagues to introduce themselves, just to let you know, this session will take around 1 hour, and we allow people to ask any question at the end. Anytime you can write your question in Q&A box. We'll allocate around 10 minutes at the end just to revisit and review your question asked to our panelists. So please start from Mr. Fahad. Mr. Fahad, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, Fahad. Thank you very much, Fahad. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this event. And my name is Fahad Al-Kiyumi. I am Senior Manager QHSC, acting for Oman Electricity Transmission Company. And I have more than 12 years of experience in HSC field. Now in OETC, I'm looking for the overall QHSC regarding the operation, construction, and all the matters related to HSC. It is great to be here today and speaking to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Fahad Al-Kiyumi from Oman Transmission Company, Oman Electricity Transmission Company. And now I would use my friend from Oman Drydock Company to introduce himself also.
Hi, greetings to everybody. Thank you, the organizer and attendees. My name is Muhammad Ubaidul Haq. In short, you can call me Ubaidul. I have been working as a HSE professional from 2006, so it's 14 years plus. So I am a registered workplace safety and health officer in Singapore, and working in Oman as a health, safety, security, and environment manager. And nice to be here with all of you.
Thank you, Abdul Haq. All participants, this is a reminder, please feel free to write any comment, any question in the Q&A box. For sure, at the end, we will revisit all the questions. We try our best to revisit all questions. Guys, let me first start from BDO end when it comes to HSC or safety. Safety is, I think, concerns for all organizations, not only BDO, because harming people, harming asset environment is not welcomed or is not encouraged to all organizations. Not only that, these days, reputation is very crucial. We can see and notice any incident can spread widely. Yeah, it's good for learning, but also repetitive incidents it shows some weakness in some companies. In BDO, we've did many initiatives, to be honest, in terms to reduce the incident. And recently, we developed one of the best tool. We call it ihtimam. Ihtimam, it is Arabic terminology. If we can translate this word, it's about we care. So we care about others. We care about ourselves. We care about asset. We care about environment. It is automated tools where any employee, any staff, any visitor also can visit the tool and raise any concern send it to the relative party for correction. If I may ask Fahad, Engineer Fahad, what is the main challenges when it comes to the constructing, let's say, the overhead lines in your company?
Yeah, thank you, Fahad. It's very important questions. And of course, we have a lot of challenges during the construction of the ocean. But first of all, give me a chance to introduce Oman Electricity Transmission Company. Maybe people not aware what we are doing. OETC is a unique company in the transmission lines, and it is a regulated company under the authority of public regulation. And OETC had, we have 100 kilometers of OHL, of transmission lines. And we have also many grid stations, around more than 100 grid stations around the Oman. OETC, we have high voltage electricity, 132 kV, and 220 and 400 kV. And now we have many projects to connect between the north to south. We're starting now the project to connect MIS to Ad-Duqm, and in phase 2 we will connect Ad-Duqm to Dhofar. This is in general OETC what we are doing here. And regarding the challenge of the OHL, actually before I start that, we have a lot of bad incidents or fatalities happen in our construction sites. And especially here, I'm talking about OHL, about construction of the towers. You know, the towers, it is like 52 meter, or some of them more than 60 meter. So that's mean you need competent people to do these activities. And this activities, it is not only in the plain area. I think people cannot see the OHL near the residential area. Our works are in the mountains. So you need a competent people to do this work. So one of our challenges that to find a competent people doing this unique activities, and not only doing this unique activities, also they have to do it in perfect way. There is no chance for mistakes there. So one of the challenges is to find these people and to do a training for them, and to provide them awareness, toolbox talk, and all those competencies. This also gives us a link to the contractors and consultants. To find these people also, it is difficult to find experienced people working for the OHL. And other also challenges which we are facing, the hilly terrains. Imagine how you will work in the Oman mountains. If you think about Nazwa or Rostaq, you see how much the mountains is too much high. To reach to that point, you need to drive almost 1 hour from down to up to reach to that area. And this is give us a lot of challenge to construct one OHL, one tower to construct it there. It give us a lot of, we need to spend a lot of time and efforts to achieve that tower without any injury. So here you need to look in many in many aspects. First of all, the equipment, how you will do the maintenance for the equipment. Also, you need to look to the emergency and rescue for the people. For example, you cannot reach to the nearest hospital from that area. So you need to provide all the equipments with ambulance, with a nurse, and they have to be available full time at that area. And this is one of the challenges. And I remember the bad incidents which happened with OETC 4 years ago. People could not rescue that IB person, injured person. and he passed away.
Yeah, that's very sad, Fahad, to hear. I mean, people are suffering, and nobody can reach them to survive, to make them survive or to rescue them. It's very bad, I think, situation. I can see there is many challenges when it comes to your operation. Competency is a concern for you. Terrain, all the mountains. Oman is very big, very quiet. يعني, different when it comes to the terrains. We see mixed between sands, rocks, mountains, forest, and so and so. We will talk in competency maybe later on, but before that, let me move to my colleague, Abdul Haq. Abdul Haq, can you just give some examples or initiatives being adapted in your company in Oman Drydock Company, just to avoid to reduce the incidents within your organization?
Thank you, Mr. Fahad. Similar to Mr. Fahad, I would like to introduce a bit about the Oman Drydock Company. So Oman Drydock Company is a maintenance yard. Basically, this company, ODC, Oman Drydock, is have a capability for ship repair, ship conversion, new build, and anything related to ship structure. Basically, ODC can do anything related to ship structure. So, looking at the job scope, you know that like, let's say we're talking about working on ship. Ship can be like 30-meter high. Let's say we're going inside confined space. That means we're going down 30-meter low. So it's quite risky, like working at height, working inside confined space. And one of our management goal or objective is we want to make sure, yes, we want to make money, but we want to make sure that our people are safe. That means at the workplace, when the person come to work, after finishing the work, he can go home safely. That is one of the goal we have. And top management, we decided that, okay, we will not welcome or we will not accept any LTI in the company. That means we are not talking about fatality, LTI, lost time incident. So of course, if we want to achieve no LTI in the company, there are a lot of things we are working out. We use PDCA cycle, like plan, do, check, action. For plan, we do some brainstorming. We have looked through all the cases has happened here before, and we also get some consultant help. Like previously, there are we engaged 2 consultants. They also did some review. So we have seen what are the problem we have. Based on that, we come out a development plan, and I will highlight some key items we are looking at the development plan. So one of the key items we're looking at the development plan is leadership, because in general, nobody come to workplace to get injury.
Yeah.
Everybody come, they want to work, they want to make sure they work safely and go home safely and earn money for the family. This is the general goal for everybody. So nobody want to get hurt. So therefore, management, they make we look at the leadership. So leadership, we work out like zero LTI for the company. And of course, we can set target, but we need to have the visibility. So we also work out some plan like, okay, senior management will do monthly walkthrough to show their visibility and support for zero LTI for the company. Like for HSE committee meeting, we also engage not only the management, even worker representative, we add them in the HSE committee meeting. And some other thing we are working out is competency, because as I said, nobody want to get injury at the workplace. So there are many factors why they get incident. So we're also looking at the competency. And when we say competency, is not only about the competency of the guy who working, we're looking every level. That means worker level, what are the competency we require, supervisory level, what are the competency they need to have, means the HSE related competency, and also managerial. That means every level they will have knowledge on the HSE related matter. So any issue they can address. And some other thing we are working out is encouragement, because sometimes people doing good job, if we tap their shoulder and say, hey, hi, you're doing the right job, people appreciate this type of thing. So we also working out a rewarding system. And beside rewarding system, we also work out something like consequence management, but this is not our priority. Our priority is like education, like leadership, education, rewarding system. Then, because all those things will not work if we continuously check. So that's why we also work out, we working out like the engagement and enforcement. That means time to time, we'll check whatever we set up, is it is working? And if it's not working, what are the problem? Is it people need to go for retraining, or is it systematic problem? Or is it something like we have like problem maker, which is very unlikely. So these are the few things we are working out. And also we set up something related to like PDO have like life-saving rule, like Shell, Chevron, even like IOGP, they are having life-saving rule. We also set up 12 life-saving rule. We call here is golden rules, 12 golden rules for ODC, which is mandatory. That means if any violation to this, there will be investigation. We'll check why this violation take place. Is it because of education, or is it because of the mindset, etc. So these are the some key things we are doing. And along the way, if we see something need to be adjusted, we will adjust accordingly.
Okay, thank you, Abdul Haq. I think this is good initiatives toward reducing or even eliminate any incidents within an organization. I could realize, I think there is a share or common, let's say, concerns between two organizations. One is the working at height, and the second is the competency. So if I can ask Mr. Fahad from OTEC, Mr. Fahad, what the procedure in place in your organization related to working at height? Is there any specific procedure, or you are relying to any international procedure? And how you assure actually people they are practicing and implementing those procedures?
Yeah, Fahad. Actually, we have a lot of procedure in our organization, and but the specific procedure for the OHL, we have a guidelines called road and safety guidelines, road and vehicle safety guidelines, and this guidelines is targeting hilly terrain area and how you are going to drive on this area. In this procedure, you can see a lot of improvement from the legal perspectives, from the access road, how you can make the access road, and also the behavior and competency of the operator. It is also there on that procedure. Also, we have OHL work safety guidelines or procedure. This procedure also focusing on the erection of the tower, starting from the foundation, from the erection, from the stringing, and for the ascending and descending also, and for the welfare facilities, which should be available at site. We are talking about food, we are talking about rest area, emergency, and rescue items. if you ask me how to monitor and how to evaluate those procedure and how to make sure those procedure available at site, we also, as Mr. Abdul Haq said, we also encourage and motivate the top management, COs, I can say, COs level, to come and to go to the site and to see, to evaluate. We have our team, HSE team, and they are doing their job and going for inspection and audit and all those to monitor for implementing those issues or those procedure. Uh, but if the workers or workmen at site and they are doing hard work and they are building towers for us and providing electricity for us, and they will see the CEO come from his office and come down, go to the site and check everything is right and talk to the people and talk to the supervisors, talk to the workmen, so they will feel motivated and they will do their job perfectly. Those procedure we are developing and we are reviewing every time to time. And we are also calling the contractors, consultant. We are calling them, come to our office and just sit and discuss the procedure, anything you want, any change you want, any improvement on the procedure. Our target finally to protect the people and to make them go home safely. So all those procedure available with us, and it is reviewed yearly by our team and also by our consultant.
Thank you, Fahad. It's very good point actually you highlighted about leadership engagement, where the leaders can go and see not only that can advise people, because we believe our leaders, they have quite enough experience, skills, knowledge when it comes to some type of operation and activities. If I may ask Abdul Haq, do you feel really empowerment? Is it a key role or a key, let's say, factor can be addressed or can be adapted to reduce incidents?
Well, definitely yes. And you know, in Oman Drydock Company, we are emphasizing that everyone, when we say everyone means is from top management up to the worker, everyone is empowered to stop work or intervene if they see anything wrong or any wrongdoing things. It can be unsafe act, unsafe condition, even some other non-compliance. Because if we just rely on the HSSE or safety guys, maybe in one company, depend on the size, there is a limited number of HSSE people. But when we can make sure like, oh, everyone in the company is empowered to do intervention, to do rectification, then things will be easy and things will be better. Like I give an example for Oman Drydock Company. Our workforce is more than 3,000. But if we look at safety, my team is about 70 over. And site monitoring, we have about 30 over people. If we just rely on 30 people, maybe we have 60 eyes. But if we rely on everybody is empowered, we have 600 eyes, 3,000 into 2. So that is what we're driving. We are giving encouragement, even our CEO, Chief Executive Officer, he also giving encouragement to our people that everybody is empowered and everybody has the right to stop the job and feedback if it's not safe. And absolutely this is necessary, because when everybody come up and everybody highlight the problem, then we will know the problem and we can address the problem and fix the matter, and definitely workplace will be safer.
That's very true, Abdul Haq. I think intervention is one of the factors to stop incidents, but also empowerment without intervention, I think it not works, because we've seen some stories where people really they want to intervene, they really saw some misbehavior or unsafe act, unsafe condition, but they don't have the power to stop others, or to stop even those people who are higher than them in their position. But if there is a clear message from the management, intervention is, supported by management. We don't allow any unsafe acts. We don't allow any deviation, any non-compliance. That will give confidence to all workforce to intervene when it is required. Let's ask Mr. Fahad. I think you have a huge number of contractors, a huge number of subcontractors. Here in PDO, we've seen subcontractors is a pain area, or subcontractors, let's say management is a pain area. You can always set a contract with the main contractor. You set assurance for the main contractor. You follow and monitor the performance of the main contractors. But honestly, when it comes to a second level, to subcontractor management, it always required additional effort. It requires collaboration between the client and the contractors to address all the issues in regards to the subcontractors. If you can, Mr. Fahad, share with us the practice with OTEC when it comes to subcontractor management.
Yeah. Yes, this is alert us, Fahad, like video, I think. Yeah, the tender is given to one contractor, and this contractor they are not able to provide a team or competent team, maybe because of shortage of workers, maybe because of Oman rules for visas or clearances. And we are supporting the contractors to hire subcontractors. But here, the issue, the management of those subcontractors. I mean management of you have to manage them starting from the welfare facility, from the accommodation. You need also to manage them at site. You don't know the behavior of those subcontractors. Some of them poor subcontractors, some of them good subcontractors, which we are preferring to hire. We are cooperating with the main contractors, and we have a checklist with us. It's called PQ subcontractor approval. So on this PQ, the main contractor has to provide a lot of things to be provided for that subcontractors. The main things that we are focusing on, the accommodation and welfare facilities. If the subcontractors has a good welfare facility for his staff, for his workers, so they can perform the work safely or perfectly. And we are also focusing on the training. Okay, the contractor will provide the training for his team. What about subcontractor? Same training which provided for main contractor, it should be provided for the subcontractor. And we are focusing also on the competency and medical fitness. Before we put them at site, we need to check for all the medical fitness for all those people, because they are working in the hilly area and they are working at height. So they have to be medical fit for this job. So all what's mentioned on the HSC plan for the main contractors, we make sure it is implemented for the subcontractors, starting from A to Z. There is no any different between subcontractor and main contractors, but all the responsibility, it should be under the main contractors.
Yeah, sure. So basically, Fahad, you are believe in fairness. So you need to treat all people same, regardless they are contractor or subcontractors. And by give some comfortable to the subcontractors, they are being treated fairly. That's mean the performance will be encouraged and can reach the maximum or meet your expectation. Abdul Haq, once you introduce your company and the some concerns you highlighted, you actually you taught upon the competency of people in Oman Drydock Company. So, can you elaborate more? What type of competency is required for your people, and how frequent you revisit those competence level, and who actually the training providers when it comes to upskill your people for Oman Dry Duck Company? You are mute. Sorry.
Thank you, Fahad. For competency, as I mentioned, we are looking in every level, worker, supervisory, and management. And also other criteria we are looking is competency-based, like job requirement. If we talk about general, like what are the training required for everybody, like HSE orientation or induction, this is mandatory for everybody, regardless is a worker, supervisor, or manager. Same goes for 12 golden rules or life-saving rules, is mandatory for everybody. Then for workers, some other training we look for is like work at height training, working in confined space training, electrical safety, etc. And sometimes we also see what the person is doing. Is he in office base or is he on site base? If site base, we require some additional training, like those I mentioned, like work at height, confined space. Those office base, we more focus on the induction and the golden rules. When come to the supervisory level, because they will be the person who supervises the job, who is monitoring the worker. So we talk to them like, we train them on like permit to work. In fact, we make a plan like all our supervisor will go for shipyard supervisor course, which can be 3 to 5 days training. And all of them will know how to apply permit and what are the things to look for before applying the permit, how to conduct the toolbox talk, etc. And also we are looking the safety leadership for the supervisory level as well. Then when come to the management, definitely safety leadership is one of the item, and also safety decision making, and like we also looking like workshop, like where we'll discuss like what are the concern, everything we have, and then the leaders come out the suggestion, okay, how we can mitigate this at the site. And if you look for more specific, is like a leadership workshop. This is what we're looking for. And if I remember your question, you also asked how frequently we look review this. At this moment, we review on yearly basis. Basically, like let's say we make the plan on January, we'll review on December, like what are the things we have done, what are the things we need to do additionally, and what are the things we could do differently. And how we do the training is depend what type of training. Let's say we're doing the permit to work training or HSE orientation training. is done by ODC employee. Basically, our HSE engineers or officers, they will do, who have a good knowledge on the shipyard activity and good knowledge on the HSE related matter. And is also not wise, let's say we're doing the orientation and permit work system to engage someone else from outside. The reason is they do not know what we are doing in the shipyard. And in fact, how I run our permit work system, it may not be familiar with the consultant. For other trainings, let's say like risk management training, how to conduct risk management. Sometimes we engage consultant because it's about the technique and all those things. And certain competency training, like let's say we're talking about forklift operator training, we're talking about the scaffold erector training, rigor signalman training, all those things we usually engage a third party to do.
Great, great. That's
Yeah, that is
a
how,
good.
yeah.
I think this is a good approach. Not only focusing on the let's say lower level people competency, but it goes up to the supervisor level, team leaders level, and even the management level. When it comes to the competency, I may also, it's I think worth to share the practice here in BDO 2 years back when we BDO and other oil and gas operators worked together to develop a national occupational standard, where we see always contractors are like a victim when we walk from one concession area to another concession area. So today, one contractor need to deliver a task or a work in BDO concession. The contractor has to ensure all the people in that contractor meeting BDO requirement for competency. And maybe next month he has another job with BB or Oxy. So he needs also to assure his people are complying with the BB requirement and Oxy requirement, and so and so and so. That's not only waste of money in my understanding or in my opinion, but also it is delaying the work, because to get the contractor familiar with all requirements for the 5 or 6 operators in Oman, it's not easy for him, because every time he will need to review, study, comply with a different standard. So actually we worked together with OPAL, Oman Petroleum Society. We involved all the operators and EMC, ODC, some crane companies, contractors, and we developed one standard, and we call it National Occupational Standard, where anybody meet this requirement of this standard, it can easily work to any concession area for any operators. That solved a lot of a problem, headache for both parties, clients parties, and also the contractors parties. If I can ask Mr. Fahad, maybe this will be the last question for him. Fahad, can you just, because today we have more than 30 participants, and I believe in knowledge share, where if we can share any practice, any knowledge, any learning from incidents also, that will stop others to repeat the same mistake. So if you can share with us any learning from any incidents happen in Oman, a transmission electricity company, and you feel that learning, if we share it today, it can really stop people from maybe losing their life in any other organization.
Yeah, thank you, Fahad, for this question. My answer maybe will target some people, targeting the owners the owners or the COs or the authorized people and the contractors and consultants. Our learning was that those people, the top people on that organizations or the contractors, they are putting finishing the projects as top priority, and they are not thinking about like HSC. This is not now. This is long time. Now we are in good shape, alhamdulillah. But I'm talking about long time. Yani, those people thinking about the cost, how they can finish the work with least costs. When we are talking about HSC, okay, HSC, put it backside and let's continue the work. This was our issue in that time, so we changed this behavior. Even we are يعني, putting this in our evaluation. So one of the learning during the evaluation, first we evaluate the performance of the contractors during 5 years. If they have any fatalities, if they have LTIs, not only with OETC, also we are checking with other projects like BDO, like other or other clients. The main change here is the evaluation. So we are not looking for the cost of that tender, or he is level 1 or 2 or 3. No, we are looking for first HSC performance. If he's okay, continue. If he's not okay, please, next one. So this is one of the important things we are, one of the learning from that incident. And of course, also change the behavior of the top COs or the top management or project manager who is handling that project. Other things that we have some learning, like changing the design of the tower, add additional like builds so people can support themselves on that. We had also a specific training for working in the watch shed. So contractors, they will get a specific training, and this training, before it was in the institute and they are doing the practice in the institute, but now we said no, the best practice is to do it at site where the people know where in the site area. So the training there as a practice will be more effective. Also special also for the equipment, for the drivers, for the operators who's operating the equipment. So we told to the institutes, please, this is our training and you have to do it at site in the location. So those some of the learnings from the incidents which happened in the past. But the most important, I repeat it again, the top management and CEOs, please come onto the ground and look to your team and motivate them. They are doing hard work, so we have to protect them. We have to appreciate them. We have also to help their families to keep them safe and go home safely.
Thank you, Mr. Fahad. It's really good learning, and that what we actually talked in the beginning about leadership, about empowerment, about motivation, appreciation. People tend only to punish others if they do a mistake, but if they did something like a pioneer, something like save them a lot, we don't see the number of appreciation, or let's say size of appreciation as the same of the size of punishment if the labor or any of the workforce make any mistake. So maybe I can convey the same question to Mr. Abdul Haq. Abdul Haq, any learning or real story happened, not necessarily in ODC, maybe in your previous company, because I know you are just joined the ODC for a short time. you feel that learning can be shared and really can contribute in future where we can save lives?
Okay, I will share something like which is related to empowerment and intervention. This is a real case. It's happened on February this year. So it's happened that one of the maintenance ship came for repair. So we have some activity in the pump room. There was a proper inspection and permit was issued. So people are working, and there is another group like you see when the ship is in the yard. We also have ship crew together with ship. So some crew will do like maintenance work, etc. So it's happened that a few crew they go and open the cargo line in the pump room. So what happened? There is a hot work, which is there is a permit, and it has been inspected. And when the crew opened the cargo line, so is from cargo line is probably the gas accumulation or gas release. So actually there was a accident, and a few people got injured. When we did investigation of this case, of course, when an accident happened, there are many failures. Then the accident took place. But one of the things we have seen the failure on the empowerment and intervention part, because when let's say ODC they are working, they have a permit, but we also notice that someone else doing the job and who don't have the permit, and it was not highlighted or it was not discussed in the daily coordination meeting, like we call it like BSCC meeting, Vessel Safety Coordination Committee meeting. What are the activity will be done? It will be discussed on morning, and based on that activity will be carried on. So when ship crew opening the pipeline or cargo line, when ODC, the employee or the subcontractor, they see we supposed to intervene. If we could intervene and stop them, then we may not have this unfortunate event.
Yes.
And this is something that I want to emphasize. In fact, in our company, we are emphasizing heavily. Everyone is empowered to stop work. And if you see wrong, please highlight, please do the intervention. So when every one of us have the mindset that, oh, I have to do the right things, I have to intervene if I see something wrong. And if one of the barrier effective, definitely we can prevent accident. So that's the short message I have.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing this, Abdul Haq. And I think it's good learning for others, especially people who are participants today in this event. I think we have about 10 minutes to close the event, and I promise the participants to give Q&A for the last 10 minutes. Let me just visit the Q&A space. So here is a question. My question for both Fahad and Abdul Haq. Are you doing industrial hygiene and workplace risk assessment and evaluation by yourself, or you get these services through your consultant? So basically he asking about the hygiene and risk assessment is done by you guys or by the third parties. Maybe Fahad can start.
Yeah, risk assessment. There is a lot of risk assessment, not only hygiene and workplace. But for our risk assessment, we are doing by our team, by supervisor, by the people who are working at site, and HSC team supporting them. We are not using our consultant for that. It is internally. Yeah.
Okay. Abdul Haq.
For Oman Drydock, industrial hygiene, I think it's not applicable here. And we do have some for the restaurant. For workplace risk assessment, training done by a third party, but actual risk assessment is done by ODC engineer, supervisor, even the HSE, they also put their, give their input. Yeah, I think we answered the things is done by the yard itself. And for training, we engage consultant, not for conducting the actual assessment.
Okay, thank you. I think we have another question from Ahmed. Is Ahmed talking about the intervention basically? So how can you assure people are intervening before any unsafe act? So I will start from you, Abdul Haq.
Okay, if we look how we can ensure, you see, this is a personal choice. So something that we need to work out on the people mindset. That is, that's why we are saying that we're driving throughout the company that everyone is important and everybody need to intervene if they see something wrong. And of course, certain thing will work out like motivation, because when someone do right job, if they get motivation, uh, they they want to do more. So like those people doing the intervention, we also working out like a something like a safety award. Like, okay, if they do a intervention and they also report to HSSC, we may give them HSE award, safety award at the end of the week or end of the month, etc. And
Okay.
definitely this is something on the mindset. We need to explain the people that we need to win their heart that, okay, this intervention to save everybody, not only yourself, everyone in the company. And if we do it, we can make sure our workplace is safer.
Okay, so I may ask another question to Fahad, but from the same person, from Ahmed. Fahad, Ahmed is asking if you, I mean, it's been revealed to you, or if you discover someone wasn't intervene timely, there is a potential to intervene, but he didn't actually. So what is the consequence for him?
Yeah. First, we are giving awareness and for this intervention and how to stop the war. It's not only like this. You come and interfere and stop the war. But if the person saw those unsafe act, unsafe condition, and he is not doing his job, we are like call him and sit with him. Maybe he's have some threat or from his like his supervisor or his foreman. So we are in some very rare cases, we are not facing these cases, but in very rare cases we are doing like small investigation and check the background, what's happened, why this person doing same this behavior, and maybe it will lead to others doing same behavior. So we are doing regular awareness, regular motivation. And if it is happen, we are doing investigation to check why it is happen and just to set the corrective action and the preventive action.
Thank you, Fahad. Very clear, very clear. So you investigate the reason rather than you just do the punishment or consequence. And you take this as a learning if the investigation shows there is a failure in the system. This question from Dr. Yusra, she asked Oman Drydock. So the question to Abdul Haq, do you have a BBC system built in-house?
Not at this moment. I think we are not ready yet. We want to build a culture, then we'll look onto the behavioral based program. At this moment, no.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Him Jerry is asking me about the National Occupational Standard. Is it enforced? Yeah, it is enforced. You can visit Opal website and you can download the standard from Opal website. We are relying to accreditation from UK. We call it ABA, Accrediting Body Association, where these bodies need to accredit our local training providers. So that time only we accept training from those contractors. The basic requirement, as I mentioned, ABA accreditation. This is anonymous attendee. I don't know his name, but he saying what type of competency of personnel required who involved in a job of like special practical training, prerequisite certified personnel for work at height, confined space. So for work at height, I think Fahad is the right person to answer, and for confined space, maybe Abdul Haq can answer. So Fahad, what the training required for working at height? Is there a special or a specific certification?
Yes. For working at height, there is a specific training for working at height and rescue. Also, there is a training for how to rescue the team from the top to down. Other competency, we are looking for the experience of this lineman, if he has experience before or not, and medical fitness for him. So all this, it's come under the competency of the lineman.
But any name of the certified person, or sorry, certification body you
Yeah,
recognize?
it is our institutes, which are available in Oman. They can provide specific training for them. It is approved by us, by OTC.
Okay, so you have approved training providers.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Great. Abdul Haq, what the requirement in training when it comes to confined space?
Okay, for confined space training.
Like puzzle entry, for instance.
Yes. Okay, for this we are two items here. One is for safety guys. Another one is for the people who will be working. For those HSE guys, those do the confined space atmosphere check, gas testing. We arrange a third party to do gas testing inspector training. So basically, this is something that in the training they will be taught, like which are the gas lighter or heavier than the air, which are similar than air, like which are the level gas free have to be conducted. This is for safety guys. For those people who will be working inside tank, they will go for confined space training, which will be part of the safety orientation. So basically, some of the things we mentioned in the training is they must be physically fit, and we maintain like dual tech system. Before they go inside tank, they need to deposit their card, so we know that who are the people inside the tank, and there will be attendant and exit path, and also like a certain area we also display like exit sign, and basically all those things we work out. So for safety guys, we do the training by a third party. For those people working inside tank, non-safety guys, we do the training in-house. Basically our safety guys do the training.
Okay, it's very clear. Thank you. Another question from Ahmed to Fahad. Ahmed asked, how do you manage the activity during the summer, especially most activity you do in very high temperature?
Yeah, for summer, actually, we are preparing from March. We start preparing from March. We start to ask the contractors to provide us a plan how they will manage the site during the summer. So we consider June, July, and August as a top month of in the summer as per the MD286. And here we manage the break time between 12:30 to 3:30. Not only that, if the temperature increased more than 45 in the open area, immediately we are stopping the activities and sending people back to the accommodation. And if we talk about also the things which should be provided there at site, we requested from the contractors to provide a welfare facility at site. We are talking about water, we are talking about food, and others which support them to not dehydrated and to avoid heat stress. Those most of the important things, and in all the projects there is a summer plan which included everything during the summer.
Thank you, Fahad. We have the last question from Irshad. He actually looking for your both contact details, Mr. Fahad and Abdul Haq. So what I do, maybe I will ask the organizer to share our contact details to the participant. This is not an issue. Before I let's close or conclude in this event, I may invite both of you. You just give the last message, maybe in one sentence or in one line, in order to enhance safety, in order to save people, save environment, save asset, to see really a green environment, LTI free, to also have a good culture of the worker where they are not focusing on the production. They are also really caring about the safety. So, Mr. Abdul Haq, any final message from your end?
My final message will be, of course, thank you everyone for attending and asking the questions. And leadership and visibility is very important, and also the empowerment for an intervention. And I myself experienced a case like where if intervention could take place, things could be different. So these are the two things I want to emphasize: leadership and empowerment for intervention. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Abdul Haq. Same question to you, Fahad.
Yeah, Fahad, it has been my pleasure to attend this interesting talk and discussion with the industry experts. I hope that we have delivered a good session and share with everyone some insight on the overview of the risk. And my final message to everyone, and especially to those people, decision makers, and to the owners of the companies, please put health, safety, and environment as a top priority in your organization, and everything will be successful. And please support the poor people whom working hard to give us a lot of services, and they are spend a lot of time to build the oil shells, build the grid station. So give them, be fair with them, and give them all the support. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Let me at the end actually offer my sincere thanks for Mr. Fahad Al-Qiyumi from Oman Electrical Transmission Company. He's acting as HSE manager. And also my sincere thanks should be extended to Mr. Amdi Abdul Haq from Oman Drydock Company as HSE manager. Also, my honor to be with you today, and my thank to all participants. It was a very, I think, fruitful session. Also, we received very informative question. Hopefully, we managed to answer all of them. Please, all of you, stay safe. Think about others, not about yourself. Remember, COVID-19 situation is very tough, very hard in Oman these days. So please take all precaution, especially to save old people, to save children, and to save yourself. I wish you a very pleasant, very safe time. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.